24 hours. Well, this week's increase in violent attacks has seen the deaths of two senior government figures in the country. Somalia's president is now preparing to declare a state of emergency. Tariq Baisley has more.
Running street battles in Mogadishu as increasingly desperate government forces clash with Al-Shabaab fighters. Al-Shabaab have taken control of a strategic area in the north of the city, just 3 kilometres from the presidential palace, which is protected now only by a 4,000-strong African Union force. The embattled government, flagging up the involvement of foreign fighters, has now called on the country's neighbours to send troops in the next 24 hours.
We've been forced to make this request because of the escalating violence. Those fighting the government are being led by a former Pakistani army general. They are burning the flag and killing people.
These pictures show Ethiopia's army leaving Somalia earlier this year. Reports now that they are back in the country. In 2006, they helped oust Islamist forces from Mogadishu. Again, they appear to be coming to the government's aid.
There will be confrontation and there will be clashes, of course. Some of the politicians among the government say that the Ethiopian troops can help establish the institutions of the government of Somalia.
And with an escalation of violence, Somalia's people are in even more desperate need.
I witnessed 8 people being killed by the heavy shelling. 4 of them are children. The situation is very dangerous and we are facing nothing but more shelling, more bombardment.
Al Jazeera was given special access this week to hospitals in Mogadishu. Clear evidence that as well as adults, scores of children are dying for lack of the most basic medical supplies.
The situation is very harsh and dangerous in Mogadishu. However, there is room for help. There is scope to lend a helping hand. Somalis are in dire need of us, more than any time before.
Fighting to save a single life, these overworked doctors can only hope the return of Ethiopian troops will bring peace. Their fear that a rise in the violence will only result in more victims and stretch scarce resources even further. Tariq Baisley, Al Jazeera.
Still to come on Al Jazeera, we'll meet former residents of Baghdad who blame Iran for being forced to flee